Bangladesh is holding a parliamentary election, but voters are being asked to do something else as well. Alongside choosing their next members of parliament, they're taking part in a national referendum, a rare move in the country's political history. The referendum is taking place against the backdrop of a major political rupture. In 2024, mass protests spread across Bangladesh, escalating into violent unrest that ultimately forced Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina from office. What followed was not an immediate return to normal politics, but a transition. An interim government was formed with a limited mandate to stabilize the country, restore order, and prepare a credible electoral process. As part of that transition, political parties, civil society groups, and protest leaders negotiated a reform roadmap. That process resulted in what became known as the July Charter. The Charter proposes wide-ranging constitutional, electoral, and institutional reforms aimed at addressing long-standing concerns over the concentration of power and electoral credibility. The interim authorities argued that such changes could not be imposed unilaterally. They required direct public consent. That is why today's election includes a referendum. Voters are being asked to approve a single package of reforms rather than voting on each proposal individually. Among the key measures are the creation of new constitutional bodies and the introduction of a bicameral parliament with an upper house whose approval would be required for future constitutional amendments. The proposals also include term limits for prime ministers, expanded presidential powers, and reforms intended to strengthen oversight and institutional independence. Each voter will cast their referendum choice by secret ballot. If a majority votes in favour, a constitutional reform council will be formed with a deadline of 180 working days to complete the implementation. This vote is also taking place in a very different political environment. The Awami League's registration and electoral activities have been suspended under existing electoral law, reshaping party competition and campaign dynamics in Bangladesh. Other parties and independent candidates are contesting under revised rules, with expanded powers for the Bangladesh Election Commission to regulate campaigning, enforce codes of conduct, and intervene where irregularities occur. Bangladesh has held referendums before, but the mechanism was abolished in 2011 and only reinstated after the 2024 political transition. What makes this moment unprecedented is the decision to hold a national referendum on the same day as a general election. Supporters say it gives democratic legitimacy to structural reforms following political upheaval. Critics argue that bundling multiple reforms into a single vote limits public debate and voters' choice and risks framing dissent as opposition to reform itself. The outcome of today's vote will not only shape the next parliament, but also determine the institutional framing under which future elections are held. For Bangladesh, this is a test, not just of turnout, but of confidence in process, in institutions, and in the credibility of political change.